The Last of Us Season 2 arrives in April. What do we know about it so far? Here's everything that's for certain. Production on Season 2 began on February 12, 2024, and wrapped in August. Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal are set to reprise their roles as Ellie and Joel, of course, as is Gabriel Luna as Joel's brother Tommy. As far as who won't be returning, co-creator Craig Mazin has ruled out another Bill and Frank episode. Mazin said that the show wasn't going to milk it, so don't expect Nick Offerman or Murray Bartlett to make a return appearance. This isn't too surprising since not only are both dead, but Mazin seems like a pretty smart guy when it comes to writing emotional beats and knowing when to tread lightly. However, we might be getting a similar concept in the form of Eugene, played by Joe Pantoliano. He's seen briefly in the second trailer for Season 2. In the game, Eugene is a former Firefly who had served with Tommy and is only mentioned and seen in a photograph. The new cast is headed up by Kaitlyn Dever, who portrays the controversial character Abby. We won't dig into the spoilers surrounding that controversy, but suffice it to say that it will probably leave TV viewers shocked if they didn't play the games. Abby is a controllable character in The Last of Us 2, wherein she is portrayed as particularly muscular, something we don't expect to see with Kaitlyn Dever. Craig Mazin noted that he thinks there is an amazing opportunity to delve into someone who is perhaps physically more vulnerable than the Abby in the games, suggesting that Dever didn't pack on the muscle for her part. Abby is the daughter of the head surgeon from The Last of Us Season 1 finale, wherein he was killed by Joel. We expect this to be one of the first big reveals of Season 2, as it's the inciting incident for much of what happens in the game. Interestingly, Abby's voice actor Laura Bailey plays one of two nurses in the scene, where Joel saves Ellie and kills Abby's father. Neither of the nurses are killed, so there's a chance we'll get to see Kaitlyn Dever share some screen time with her character's original performer. An additional fun fact is that Dever was initially in the running for Ellie when The Last of Us was going to be a movie. Mazin said that when the show rolled around, she was no longer convincingly 14.
Then me, I am the one that you want. And you wasted it.
Isabella Merced portrays Dina, Ellie's love interest, whom she's seen smooching in the trailer. Merced is perhaps best known for portraying the titular character in Dora and the Lost City of Gold, as well as appearing in Alien Romulus. She is unsurprisingly a major character in the video game, with the creative team feeling that she amplifies the better parts of Ellie.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly, in the game, Dina is ethnically Jewish, while Merced is not. This caused some mild controversy. Jesse, Dina's former flame, is portrayed by Emmy nominee Young Mazzino. He's known for his breakout role in Netflix's Beef, which earned him a Primetime Emmy Award nomination. Perhaps the most fan-pleasing casting comes in the form of Jeffrey Wright, who portrayed Washington Liberation Front leader Isaac Dixon in the video game, and will now do so once again for the TV series.
We've only got one shot at this.
Wright is best known for his big screen roles, including Felix Leiter in the Daniel Craig era James Bond films, as well as starring in the 2023 Oscar-winning comedy American Fiction. You might recall that Season 1 also featured a number of cameos from the video game's actors, most notably Merle Dandridge returning to the role of Marlene.
I assure you, you will die.
Catherine O'Hara plays Joel's psychiatrist, who isn't in the game. There, Joel confesses to his brother Tommy about what happened at the hospital, wherein Joel murdered a whole bunch of people in order to save Ellie's life.
That's a lot.
It seems that in the TV version, he'll be relaying this information to his psychiatrist, perhaps as a means of catching the audience up on the events of the previous season. Danny Ramirez plays Manny, one of the soldiers working with Abby in her quest for revenge. Ramirez is best known for his role of Joaquin Torres in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in which he was last seen in Captain America: Brave New World. Another MCU actor, Runaways' Ariella Bearer, plays Mel. She's a major part of Abby's crew and reveals early on that she's pregnant with the child of Owen, who's played by Spencer Lord. This group is rounded out by Nora, played by Gabrielle Tati. She was a medical officer who trained under the Firefly's head surgeon Jerry Anderson, who, as we already mentioned, was killed by Joel during his massacre at the hospital. The second trailer for Season 2 added a lot to our understanding as to what to expect from the show. For one, there's the massive infected attack on Jackson in the winter, which is an early sequence in the game. While it's a natural event to include in the show, its inclusion throughout the trailer suggests a response to some criticisms that Season 1 didn't feature enough of the infected. It appears that the issue has been sufficiently alleviated. We also see the Seraphites, known as the Scars. They're a primitivist cult at war with the Washington Liberation Front, which is itself led by Isaac Dixon. Craig Mazin has referred in past interviews that he would like to explore a character from the second game, telling Fuera de Foco in 2023 that he would love to find out what happened to her, and that it's an interesting story. He is clearly referring to the Seraphite Prophet, a woman who supposedly had a premonition warning her of the cordyceps infection, and whose followers became the Seraphites. Seeing as they're a major part of the plot, and we know they're in Season 2, it's possible that we could get a special episode or flashback all about the Prophet. And much to fan surprise, the spores are back. For those who didn't play the games, one of the few complaints fans had with Season 1 was the lack of spores. Basically, a part of the danger in this world are the spores that are released by infected corpses, resulting in the need for our characters to wear gas masks to protect themselves. In Season 1, the showrunners decided against using the spores because, practically speaking, it didn't make sense to have all the actors constantly wearing masks anytime they had to enter a new room.
No! Ellie, no! Stop! I'm not infected! I'm immune!
Season 3 is likely to see a go-ahead, considering the success of Season 1. Mazin has said that certain aspects of Abby's character will manifest now and later, referring to plans to expand the second game into more than one season. Mazin and Druckmann have said that Season 2 will have fewer episodes than its predecessor, down to 7 after the first season's 9, with a natural breakpoint into Season 3, which will be significantly larger and could even result in a 4th season. That all said, the show has only been renewed through Season 2. Druckmann has also said of the upcoming season that it's a continuation of love from the first season, and this is just the dark side of that coin, the pursuit of justice at any cost for the ones you love and the exploration of that. As we see in the trailer, at the very least we'll be getting Ellie's reaction to Joel's massacre at the end of Season 1. Beyond that, we can't be sure. However, we do know that it will follow the plot of the game. Mazin has previously noted that there is zero interest from the creators in expanding the show beyond the source material. They will sometimes do things differently and even expand on elements in the game, according to Mazin. He and Druckmann have also fully mapped out the series, sketching out the multiple seasons and then doing a deep dive on Season 2. The scope of the season is also apparently pretty huge, with Mazin calling it absolutely massive, while reassuring fans that Season 3 promises to be just as big, if not bigger. Of course, we'll know a lot more once the season premieres on April 13th. Our initial impression of the trailers and news thus far is that we can expect another loyal adaptation of the game, with plenty of side plots to expand the world and its characters. For you fans of the games, what moment are you most excited to see play out on screen? Let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching Screen Rant.